In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create a flock of birds flying across the screen, all done in DaVinci Resolve. In Fusion, add a polygon node and draw a bird. Hold Ctrl while dragging to move a single handle. Move the playhead to frame 5. And move the wings down. Hold Shift key while dragging down to lock the translation to the Y-axis. An animation key will be automatically created on the timeline. To animate the wings going back up, head over to the Keyframes panel. Right-click the first key and copy points. Then paste points at frame 10. Now we need to export the animation as images. Press Ctrl and Spacebar. Type in Saver and add the Saver node. Set the frame range to 10, otherwise the whole timeline will be rendered. In the Savers Inspector, select the destination folder. Choose a name and add .png as the file extension. And save. Then go to the Fusion menu and render all savers. All the 10 frames are now rendered. Move these nodes to the side or delete it. To reload the frames we rendered, add a loader node. A window will automatically pop up. Select the first image and open. To control the images, add a Particles Emitter node, pEmitter. To be able to connect it to the loader node, go to Style panel. Change the style to bitmap. Now the emitter node can recognize image input. To see the particles, add a pRender node. Now, select the loader node and tick loop to keep the wings flapping throughout the timeline, and reset the frame range to play the full timeline frames. Select the pEmitter and look at the controls panel. The number of the particles determines how many birds should pop up at each frame. Set it to 4, and 4 new birds will be created at every frame. To stop the birds from popping up at all frames, move 2 frames forward. Key the number value. Move forward 1 more frame and set the slider back to 0. That will add a key automatically. Now we have a constant number of birds throughout the video. To stop the birds from disappearing, increase the lifespan value to a higher number than the timeline's end frame. Currently, all the birds flap their wings at exactly the same time. If you set the animate setting to particle age, it will offset the bird's animation according to their first frame when the bird was created. And because we moved 2 frames forward when we added a key earlier, we get 3 variations, 1 group of birds for each of the frames from 0 to 2. This adds a slight variation to the animation. If you need to change the color of the birds, you can do it in the color controls. Under size controls, adjust one size for all the birds, or tweak the size variance to add a variety of sizes. In the Controls tab, use Velocity to make the birds fly across the screen. tweak the value to adjust the speed. Change the velocity variance value, and you will get birds flying at a different speed. Let's take a quick look at some of the Region tab options. Here you can change where the particles will spawn and its area of distribution. Choosing all will distribute the particles all over the screen. The cube will define its area of distribution in a box shape. And with line, it will distribute the birds along a straight line defined by 2 control handles, which you can move as needed. I forgot to mention that if you want the birds to fly in the opposite direction, just change the velocity to a negative value. I will undo that for now. Let's add one more node to adjust the animation of the birds. The pTurbulence node. It simulates wind and is usually used to vary the movement over time of fire, smoke, or dust. We'll use it here to add that extra movement to the birds. We only want it to affect the y-axis movement, so we'll turn both X and Z off. And we'll tone down the density to 1. Lower value for Y. I will bump up the Y strength a bit, just to show clearly its effect on the animation. See how gradually the birds start flying off away from each other over time? Just gonna set this back to how it was. Okay, just a tiny bit higher. Let's say you want the birds to fly off into the distance and slowly disappear. Head over to the Size over Life option. Adjust the curve to determine the size of the birds over time, and just play the animation. No extra keying required. I'm just going to mention one last tip for this tutorial. If you want to slow down or speed up the bird's flapping animation, you could just add a time speed node after the loader node and adjust it as it suits you. Any value higher than 1 speeds it up. And any value lower than 1 slows it down. Hope you found this tutorial useful. If you did, please like and subscribe. And leave a comment if you have any questions or if you got any tips you would like to share. Thank you for watching.